Where we at? Who wants to go first?
Raise your hand if you have
a
I'll go first. I gotta get my microphone here. Okay. Not so much just real quick. Now you got so much young talent now in the secondary. Some of the younger guys in Mirror Speed. You got 6'3". How many guys have you had with that kind of skill set at that position?
Yeah, he's got rare size, which is a good thing. He's got good length. He's got really good balance and body control. Good athletic ability. He runs well, and he loves football. So he's got the talent that we like to work with. He's working really hard at his craft right now, and I'm really fired up about his upside.
I know. Wondering if you could just generally assess this defense. Obviously, there's a lot of expectation with a lot of guys coming back, and clearly the safety star seems to be the unanswered question, but I'm sure you have more than that. Can you just kind of assess the expectations and if they're valid?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of returning starters like we do. The expectations will be high, but the expectations are going to be high here at UGA every year. So it's really not about that. It's about us living up to our standard and how we want to play and reaching our full potential. I think that our guys right now are working extremely hard to get better at every position. At the star position, we have several guys that are taking reps there. We got Aaron Davis, D'Angelo Gibbs, we've got Tyreek McGee, we have Jarvis Wilson. All those guys are taking reps at that star position, so we're going to figure out who can help us the most there. Mo Smith did a great job for us last year, and we need to replace that spot.
Coach, so how is your secondary progressed coming into this year with guys like Malcolm Parrish and Dominic Sanders kind of leading the way there?
That's right. Well, you got like I said, you got Malcolm, you got Dom, you got Aaron Davis, seniors, guys that play a lot of football, that really know what's expected. And I'm leaning on those guys. We're leaning on those guys to be leaders for us back there. DeAndre Baker's got some game experience, and so we're looking to become more cohesive, to work better as a unit, make more plays. We got 7 freshmen. Okay, and so we got to teach those guys what to do, and develop these guys, as a unit. Tell them no child left behind. We need to make sure everybody's ready to go by the time that game starts.
Now, when it comes to Tyreek McGee, he's a guy that you said working at Star, and it seems like he would also want to be one of the first few corners in the game right now as well too. What's it like trying to balance getting him ready to play both positions? Is he spending more time at one right now than the other?
Well, he did that a year ago, and he played corner on both sides and the star position, and he handled that well. So we just map out his reps every day. We script every rep in practice. A lot of times we're doing 2 spots, working on both fields, and so we've got a lot of guys working at the same time. We just have to make sure he gets his star reps and he gets his corner reps on both sides, and that hasn't been an issue so far.
About the edge rushing, what was your evaluation last year? And obviously sack numbers weren't high, but when it came to affecting the quarterback, QB pressures, what was your evaluation of last year, and how much better they need to do, if any, this year?
Yeah, I think we need to get better pressure overall to affect the quarterback from the edge and also pocket push. We have the guys that can get that done. So I think with a good coordinated pass rush, all 4 or 5 guys working together to fill up all the rush lanes, we can get that done. That's a point of emphasis for us. Red zone defense is a area where we need huge improvement. Minus yardage plays, another area where we need huge improvement. So pass rush, red zone efficiency, minus yardage plays, all those things we need to improve.
Kirby was talking earlier about the need improvement in the red zone.
Yeah.
What do you think was the major breakdown in red zone last year?
Yeah, I think the major breakdown was execution. When you go back and look at the tape, on defense, if one guy does not do what he's supposed to do, you're going to lose it down probably. And so, there's a huge emphasis on execution. We repped the low red zone a lot more in the spring, and we're picking up where we left off this fall. And so, and obviously there's some scheme things that we're looking at that we can do to help our players. And so, you know, our goal is to be much improved in that area.
Now, as your years as an assistant coach, what's the closest you've had to what you consider a dominant defense, and what does this unit need to do to get to that level?
Well, I know when I coached at Ohio State, we won a national championship. We were pretty good on defense there. When in Jacksonville in 2011, I thought we were in the top 10 there. In Alabama 2 years ago, you know, we were pretty stout there. And so, but it's really about this group and what we can achieve. When we talk about what's our identity going to be this year. Every year you have a new team. It's a new defense. So, you know, we're working to be at our best. And I'm pleased with the way the guys have worked. I thought we didn't get as much done yesterday as we could have. So we're looking for a big day today.
Mel, how vital is a guy like John Atkins who may not put up numbers but has a pretty tough task in that nose guard spot?
Yeah. John, you know, the middle of your defense, you want to be very strong up the middle. Just like baseball, so you got to be strong at the defensive tackle, inside linebacker, and safety. You got to be stout, and those guys he's an anchor for us in the middle. He doesn't get a lot of credit. He's not going to be flashy. There's not a lot of French pastry right there with him. It's more meat and potatoes, and so as long as he's consistent and he can anchor the middle for us, that's what we need him to do.
So being an upperclassman, how is Trenton Thompson kind of emerged as a leader amongst the defensive line, and also how is Trace Scott kind of come and help improve his game and the game of others as well?
Yeah, Trenton is a lead by example guy. He brings a tremendous amount of energy to the field. He's very, very disruptive. He runs to the ball, and he's very consistent in that matter. So, and when you have guys that lead by example, that really shows the way for the other guys. Trey Scott has come in and done a tremendous job. He's a technician. He's very good at coaching and teaching in a progression, run and pass rush. And so I think the guys have grown to like him and respect him, and they're taken to him. And I feel like we have a chance to have a strong unit.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk about Roquan Smith already, and just kind of his impact on the defense, leadership. You know, can you just talk about him? We asked players about him the other day, and they kind of lit up. I mean, it seems like he's really, you know, had an impact on this team.
Yeah, Roquan's he's come a long way, and he's playing really fast right now. He's showing outstanding leadership for us. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he's a guy that can make a lot of plays in the run game and as a blitzer and in coverage. And so I just like his ability to be an all-around player. He loves football. He's a student of the game. He's a good leader for us. He has a high character, and he's a guy that's going to lead the way for us. Quite frankly, and we're going to need him to be consistent, and I expect him to do that.
Curious about how many guys you want to play. Typically, I know on defensive line everyone's subbing as many as you can, but especially when in the back end, the other spots when you have so many returning starters, but you've got so many talented newcomers, how does that affect how many guys you might shuttle in and out?
Yeah, I think in some games last year we played 18, 19 guys in a game. We need to have a strong 2D in the secondary, especially. We're usually in nickel or dime, probably about 80–90% of the time, and so we usually have 5 or 6 defensive backs in the game. So to have a strong, have a lot of depth there, you have to develop the young guys. Those guys have to be ready to go, because it's always, you're one play away from being in the game. It's next man up. We're obviously going to rotate a lot of guys on the defensive line. We want to play as many guys as we can. Guys that have a role, you get more buy-in, you have better team chemistry. So we want to get all these guys ready to play. So as we practice and as we scrimmage, eventually we'll know who we can count on to go out there and play for us, whether they're starters or they're the next man up.
When you talk about developing guys in your secondary, what's the skill set you see on a daily basis with D'Angelo Gibbs and some of the other young guys? Who else might be ahead of the curve in terms of being able to help right away?
Yeah, D'Angelo has very good size, and he's athletic and he's strong. And so he's a guy that can do a lot of things in terms of block protection, fitting the run, but he's also athletic enough to give you what you need in coverage. Amir Speed, again, we talked about him earlier. He's got very good size. He's a quick study. He's usually a tell him once type guy, and so he's also a guy that's coming on. Richard LeCount is a see ball, get ball type guy. He plays very, very fast. He's very instinctive, and he's a guy that flashes out there. But all of those guys at some point in time, they show you, they remind you why they're here. And so we have to develop all of those guys and try to get them to the point where they can go out on the field and play winning football for us.
My question's kind of similar, but I guess I'll be a little bit more specific. Are you seeing anybody from the freshmen who can contend for the cornerback position and kind of develop into that kind of lockdown corner that you hear about that everybody's trying to find?
Yeah, it's kind of early for that. I think all those guys that we brought in at corner will be able to help us. It's just at what point they'll be able to help us is a question. And so, and it's a day-to-day deal with those guys because they have to learn what to do and how to do it before they can go out actually in the game and help us. But I've been pleased with all the guys that we brought in so far. In terms of a lockdown corner, I'm not sure exactly what the true definition of that is, but we need guys we need guys out there that can win the one-on-ones and win the contested throwing battles. And I think we've got the guys that have the potential to do that relative to those young guys we talked about.
Hey Mel, working with Kirby at Alabama and being in year 2 with him now, how have you seen him kind of progress in that journey as a coach? And from year 1 here at Georgia to year 2 now, what are some changes or differences you've seen?
Yeah, well Kirby's Coach Smart. He's the same guy day in and day out, and so he's very consistent. He's very passionate. He's very knowledgeable. He's got a very high expectation and a high standard, and he's been like that since the time I met him. And so just going into year 2, we feel like we have a really good staff, a cohesive staff, and we really like working with Coach Smart. And I feel like that he has confidence in us to be able to help him get this job done.
Coach Decker, can you tell me a little bit about the freshman inside linebackers you have, Monty Rice, Jaden, and moving Jaden to inside, and Nate McBride, if you would?
Yeah. Monty Rice and all those guys they have really good upside. They got good size. They all run well, and they really want to be good players. You can tell just by the way they go about their business. They pay attention in the walkthroughs. They're very serious about it. In the meetings, they're very serious about it. And you can see those guys get better and better, as we go. And they've got some pretty good players in front of them to learn from. And so I think we have a chance to have a pretty good unit right there. We'll see. You guys gonna let me off to it with about 10 minutes? Appreciate it. Claude, you got anything for me, Claude?
I'll ask about a local kid, Jaleel Aywins. I don't know if I pronounced it right.
Excuse me?
Jaleel at linebacker.
Jaleel
Aywins, yeah. I guess he's working some of the outside linebacker now. What's the thought process moving him from inside to outside?
Yeah, he has a skill set for outside backer. He's got really good straight line speed. And he's very, very strong. And so he's shown the ability to pass rush. You can never have enough rushers on the edge.
Mel, what are your thoughts on Chauncey Benack and his ability to maybe play defensive end, outside linebacker, maybe kind of a hybrid role, and all the stuff you're doing cross-training out there?
Yeah, we like Benack when he can bring to us athletically. He's got a really good body. He's really strong, but he's athletic. He's shown some pass rush ability. He can rush outside. He can rush on guards and centers inside, and he's very, very tough. So we don't have an issue with him playing end and holding up in the run game, but giving us some pass rush and be able to affect the quarterback. So he's a guy we have to continue to develop. He's a young guy. We've got a lot of young guys, but we see marked improvement in him.
Good time for a couple more.
Coach, how's Dominic Sanders doing? And was he pretty fighting injury a good part of the year?
Yeah, well, Dom's doing well. He's one of our leaders. He's very consistent. He plays fast. He practices hard. He's very attentive in the meetings. And he's a really good guy to be around. And it's a privilege to coach guys like that because he brings a type of energy and passion for the game that it energizes me as a coach. I want to bring it every day for him to try to help him get better. And last year, injuries are part of the game. So at some point in time, everyone's going to be a little bit nicked up. But he's a very tough guy. He's going to push through and do whatever he can do for this football team.
Coach, what can you tell us about Trey Scott? He's coming in here. We haven't got a chance to speak to him. We don't know enough about him. We hear from the recruits what a high energy guy he is. But what can you tell us about his coaching technique and philosophy?
Yeah, Trey Scott is a high energy guy. He really does a great job as a teacher, and then motivating and developing players, that's our job as coaches to do. He's really sound in the fundamental aspects of the game, the teaching progressions. There's no wasted motion with him on the field in the drill work, whether it's walkthrough or during a special teams period or anything. He's extremely organized. He knows exactly what he wants to get done. He holds those guys to a high standard, and he's doing a really good job for us. Good coach.
Got one more. Last question. Coach Chaney's on the way.
Mel, how active were you last winter with some of these guys that are looking at the NFL and to have Bellamy and Carter back on your defense? So what does that mean in terms of what you're able to do?
Yeah, well, the guys that have decided to come back, we're really excited and glad that they did come back. I'm a resource for these guys. Anyone that has any questions about anything on or off the field, I'm more than willing to help, and that's including the NFL.
Thank you.